So you ever been arrested?
I spent 7 months in hell.
So you know that brings up red flags in my book.
There's something I can talk to you about. It's calling it all adoption. I'm supposed to adopt mom could contest it, even though she's an adult.
Yes.
And you know that.
Our marriage is not strong enough to support this.
Are you gonna deal in balloons?
A lot.
Can we put the cameras off, please? I don't want to do the video.
This is also weird.
Hi, Annie. Hi. Making stuffed mushrooms for Ileana. Did I get some? Not tonight. My name's Dan. This is my wife, Christy. We live in Chillicothe, Ohio. It's her and I. It's our entire family, except for all of our critters. Christy has way too many
This don't
cats.
seem interesting.
I told Ileana that she needed to check in for her flight.
Now, I've got to show you how many states are included here because Dallas and Fort Worth are in a warning, Oklahoma City in a warning, all the way up through Indianapolis, Cleveland, Buffalo. This is so widespread, and it's going to come in kind of two impulses. So I'll take you through the timing. Today is the snow on the northern side, so it's Detroit Day, Fort Wayne Day. Then that southern low starts to pull up the moisture. It's like a fire hose of moisture.
Yeah.
With the snow kind of thinner on the top, the ice
Again?
thicker. I am really concerned about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch ice for parts
Your
of
way.
western Kentucky.
Why it's gotta be from my way?
The Northeast. Yes, the Northeast.
That ain't my way. I don't own that way.
If we start accumulating, that is going to be a big problem.
I can't control where I was born.
Okay, Ginger, thank you. The snow
Woo!
also in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's where we find our Alex
What's that?
Pervez. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. You can see traffic here on Lakeshore Drive is moving right now and somewhat sparse, and it may be for the best because the Chicagoland area is bracing for a monster headache of a
Oh, that
morning
is
commute.
horrible.
Now, what started as a rain last night, freezing and creating a dangerous layer of ice, which is now being covered by snow that began falling also overnight. The dangerous conditions creating travel headaches. Nearly 1,300 flights canceled already this morning at least 5 major airports, including right here in Chicago, and with as much as a foot of snow possible in some parts of the Chicagoland area. Officials are warning people, asking them to stay off the roads and avoid travel if possible. Robin,
Well, the worst
to
place,
stay safe. Thank you.
You gotta tell the
Robin, now to the
workspace.
latest on the pandemic, and that headline from Pfizer: apply for emergency use authorization for its COVID vaccine for children under 5 years old. Whit Johnson is at Pfizer headquarters with the latest. Good morning, Whit.
Michael, good morning. This process now moves to an FDA advisory panel meeting in a couple of weeks. If the Pfizer vaccine is authorized in kids under 5, the CDC would then give the final green light, and we could see those first shots by the end of the month.
This morning, a major step towards vaccinating America's youngest children against COVID. Pfizer requesting emergency use authorization for kids 6 months to 5 years old.
I think parents
Wow,
should do
Bert.
we should
Right.
really work our way down in ages.
Kids getting it too like that, like
I
these.
think that would also be cool here.
Pfizer expects the vaccine series will eventually require 3 doses, but is now submitting the trial data for just 2 doses, citing an urgent public health need. Federal regulators reportedly asking Pfizer to move forward despite a lower immune response in 2 to 4-year-olds. The shots are 1/10 the strength of adult doses.
There is an urgent need to get our younger kids immunized and protected against COVID, but we can't let that happen until we are sure that the science suggests that our kids should be getting these vaccines, whether it's 2 doses or down the road 3 doses.
The Bowie family says they're confident in the vaccine's safety. Over the summer, their kids, including then 3-year-old Christian and 14-month-old Sloan, got 2 doses as part of the Pfizer trial.
We truly feel that the protection that the vaccine has afforded the kids has been able to get us back into somewhat of a normal life.
But many parents remain hesitant. A recent survey found only about 30% of parents with kids under 5 will get them their shots right away. George?
Okay, well, thanks very much. Together Hill now, and the health care for New Mexico Senator Ben Ray Lujan, who suffered a stroke, is hospitalized and expected to make a full recovery, but it comes at a critical time for the Democratic agenda in a 50-50 Senate. Congressional correspondent Rachel Scott has the latest. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning, and it's really did come as a shock to so many senators here on Capitol Hill.
Democratic Senator Ben Ray Lujan of New Mexico was feeling dizzy last week. He checked himself into a found out that he suffered a stroke and had to undergo surgery. His office tells us that he is expected to make a full recovery, but at this point, it's unclear just how long he will be gone from Capitol Hill. Democrats hold a razor-thin majority in the Senate, and it comes as President Biden is trying to narrow down his short list for who he will nominate to the Supreme Court. To get his pick confirmed without any Republican support, he will need the vote of every single Democratic senator. It could be weeks before President Biden announces his choice, but Democrats have already had to reshuffle their plans, pushing off votes for other key nominees. One Democratic senator telling me that this is just a reminder that in a Senate that is split 50-50, any unexpected development could serve as a challenge to Democrats in their agenda. But of course, they are wishing Senator Lujan well, George.
We all are. Rachel Scott, thanks very much. Right?
We are, George. Thank you. Now to the latest on Russia and Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin speaking for the first time in weeks about the crisis and placing the blame on the U.S. and its allies. Our senior foreign correspondent, Ian Chandler, is there on the scene for us in Ukraine. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. We're in one of these many frontline towns between Ukrainian forces and Russian-backed rebels. You know, there used to be 800 people living here. Today, there are only 90 left. And with the world watching and worrying about these Russian troops at the border, Vladimir Putin speaking out, criticizing America and the West for, quote, ignoring our concerns. He thinks that NATO has broken promises by expanding into Eastern Europe, which he sees as a threat. Quote, as the people say, they played us simply lie. Of course, the US rejecting that, saying Russia's the aggressor by invading Ukraine and gathering these troops at the border. Meanwhile, American fighter jets taking part in pre-planned military exercises in Estonia. No diplomatic breakthroughs yet, but the good news is that both sides are agreeing to continue talking. The bad is that the differences between the two still remain, and the greatest danger is right here. One small misstep between Ukraine and these rebel forces could potentially ignite a much greater conflict. Michael?
Hopefully we can talk their way through it. Ian, thank you so much. Now, going to turn to that blistering lawsuit against the NFL. Former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores is suing the league and 3 teams for alleged racial discrimination and calling for the NFL to make some major changes. Trevor Ault has more for us this morning. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Michael. Brian Flores was thought to be on the short list for some of the most high-profile jobs in football, and now he's taking on the NFL himself. This is a wide-ranging lawsuit about his own treatment and about black coaches in general. It names several teams. It includes text messages from Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, and it goes as far as to accuse the league of being managed like a plantation.
Y'all just not realizing that?
Former Miami Dolphins coach Brian Flores
Freaking combine ain't nothing but a dang old slave trade.
The NFL of racial discrimination.
We need change. We need change. I know many very capable black coaches. Some of my staff who I know, if given an opportunity, or when given an opportunity, they're going to go and do a great job when they're interviewed.
Their proposed class action lawsuit filed Monday, Flores says the league remains rife with racism, particularly when it comes to the hiring and retention of black head coaches, coordinators, and general managers. In the last month, Flores was fired after back-to-back winning seasons in Miami and passed over for the top job with the New York Giants. In his lawsuit, Flores says just last week the Giants invited him to interview for his head coaching vacancy.
If that's how y'all feel, get your own team. I'm not gonna be nowhere I don't want to be wanted, you know? Like I do it. Throwing blame around. Okay, they don't want you. Okay, I'm gonna do my own thing.
The Denver Broncos interviewed him. Team executive
keep using it as a crutch, man.
It was obvious they were drinking heavily the night before. Accusations the team says are blatantly false. They too later hired a white coach. Flores is now calling both meetings sham interviews. He believes they were only granted to satisfy the league's 20-year-old Rooney Rule, which mandates teams interview at least one minority candidate for top positions. But the Giants say they are confident with the process that resulted in the hiring of Brian Dable.
Just one?
The NFL responding to the allegations in the state.
Like, I'm not understanding, this isn't new news. I'm not even in the NFL and I know it goes down. Like, come on. These organizations were built for one reason.
Now, there are still 5 vacancies, but as of right now, there is only one black head coach in the NFL. Brian Flores says he knows he's risking his chances of ever getting hired again. He said it had to be.
George.
Thanks very much. Now that's what you need
Some say this is a troubling sign of fading understanding about the horrors of the Holocaust. This morning, ABC News suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks in response to her inflammatory remarks about the Holocaust. ABC News President Kim Goslin saying in a statement, effective immediately, I am suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks for her wrong and hurtful comments. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. The entire ABC News organization stands in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, family, and
We don't even
communities.
get that.
If you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race.
On Monday's show, the host of ABC's The View inaccurately claimed the Holocaust was not related to race.
It's not about race. It's not about race because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about. Whoopi Goldberg.
Goldberg appearing to double down on the Colbert Show that night.
The American experience tends to be based on skin.
Yes. And so that is what race means to me.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about being a racist, I would. Figure it out.
Then tweeting an apology saying in part, the Jewish people around the world have always had my support and that will never waver. I'm sorry for the hurt I have caused. And the next day, opening The View with this.
I said that the Holocaust wasn't about race, and it was instead about man's inhumanity to man, but it is indeed about race, because Hitler and the Nazis considered Jews to be an inferior race. Now, words matter, and mine are no exception. I regret my comments, as I said, and I stand corrected. I also stand with the Jewish people, as they know, and y'all know, because I've always done that.
By the end of the Holocaust, just 77 years ago,
Why are we talking about this?
had been murdered.
That might not fit exactly feel different.
Black History Month.
21st century America.
We get 1 month and we still talking about another damn race of white people.
Jewish people's history.
They couldn't say this on February 31st.
They were not just a different religion, but indeed a different race.
Excuse me, boss. You have a text message.
Many people on good faith on the left and the right call this out forcefully, fully, without hesitation.
And studies show an alarming decline in knowledge about the Holocaust at a time when anti-Semitism has surged to unprecedented levels. The FBI saying Jews are the most targeted for religious-based hate crimes in this country. And George, as you heard there, Goldberg saying she regrets her comments and any hurt they may have caused.
Yes, she did. Okay, Ariel, thanks very much, Robin.
And George, now to the tragedy at a college in Virginia. 2 officers shot and killed during an active shooting situation. President Biden tweeting, quote, another senseless shooting is taking the lives of 2 brave officers. Gun violence against law enforcement officers is sickening and it must end. Our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, has the latest. Good morning, Pierre.
Robin, good morning. Tragedy came to Bridgewater College, a small liberal arts school of only 1,500 students about 2 hours southwest of Washington, D.C. Just after 1 p.m. yesterday, campus police officers John Painter and J.J. Jefferson were responding to a report of a suspicious man near a building that houses classrooms and offices. After a brief encounter, the suspect pulled out a gun and shot the officers, and then fled. The 2 officers, who were good friends and known as the dynamic duo, died at the scene despite the desperate effort to save them. The suspect, identified as Alexander Campbell, aged 27, was arrested a short distance away. Police recovered multiple guns on and off campus. We have no motive, but you get the sense this terrible violence could have been much worse. Michael?
Terrible indeed, Pierre. Thank you so much for that. And this morning here in New York City, thousands of officers are expected to pay their respect at the funeral of NYPD officer Wilbert Mora at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Mora and his partner were fatally shot while responding to a domestic violence call. Phil Lipoff is at St. Patrick's Cathedral. Good morning, Phil.
Michael, good morning. Sadness and grief will once again fill St. Patrick's Cathedral as the funeral for Officer Wilbert Mora will take place in just a few hours. The second of 2 NYPD officers killed in the line of duty in just the last 2 weeks. Yesterday, Officer Mora's wake was held here. Hundreds came through to pay their respects to the 27-year-old who died trying to make New York City a safer place. Mora and his partner, Jason Rivera, were ambushed answering a domestic violence call January 21st. Rivera was killed there at the scene. He was just 22. His funeral held here last week, and when you hear about that sea of blue, this is exactly what it looked like. Law enforcement officers from all across the country, thousands lined Fifth Avenue, 20 deep for 20 blocks. Here in New York City, that's a mile long. A powerful show of support. We are expecting to see a similar outpouring today.
And close friend Alex Guerrero joins us live.
And the dramatic, never-before-seen video of a deadly Waffle House shooting showing the moment when that heroic man wrestles a rifle away from the suspect. But first, let's go back in time. Jen?
Robin, Wichita, Kansas, already 5 inches of snow, accidents on the road. That is going to be the case for so many people, which I will have more coming up. But first, let's get those snowy cities sponsored by Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today for zero enrollment. Zero, like a bagel. It's only $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Thanks for enjoy tons of equipment for zero bills. Zero enrollment and $10 a month. That makes me so happy. You know what else will make me happy? Well, a team that I just did free zone. But the part that I really get to go, that Coach Full-Top High. Look at that love. It's the sweat of the time. Feel the jacket on 2022 for zero enrollment, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Hurry, feel it today.
Did I tell you about what happened to my account?
What account?
My Bitmark account. Yeah, so I don't remember what day it was. Probably about 2 weeks ago. I got on there about 6 in the morning, and I went on there to buy. SRWD. It's one of the meme coins.
Okay.
I went on and purchased it. I purchased it 3 times because it wasn't showing up in my assets. So I purchased it. I didn't see it, so I did a little smaller amount. Did it again. It never showed up. So I got on there with customer support and basically told them the situation, and they were like, okay, we're going to handle this, just give us your email and your phone number, and we'll get back to you within 24 hours. I was like, okay, don't worry about it. And I screenshotted what the person from customer support was saying.
Okay.
So maybe a day later, it was like 2 days. So I was like, man, I ain't getting no email, nothing. So they finally sent me an email. No, they didn't send anything. That's what it was. They didn't send me anything. So I got back on there and talked to customer support again. And they were like, you have to fill out a ticket. So I was like, okay, I'll do this, whatever. But I had already spoke with somebody already about the situation. Right. They was like, just send another ticket in or whatever like that. Okay. I did that. That's when I got the email. And basically they were saying that there was insufficient funds to purchase that crypto. Okay. I was like, what? I went on there and purchased like $60 worth.
Right.
And have done the same thing since I've been messing with Bitcoin. Same amount. I'm like, how is that possible? I've made multiple purchases with the same amount of money and went on there and purchased coins.
Right.
So how is it any different from what I'm doing
right now?
Right. So they just kept giving me the runaround, and nobody wanted to talk to me. They wanted to message me back, and I got on there and finally got somebody that wanted to like talk about the situation.
Right.
And told them what happened, and they were like, all we can do is send in another ticket, and they'll send it to technical support. I was like, okay, I've done all of this. Like, I've sent in tickets, I've got screenshots, I got the screenshot when I purchased the coin, or tried to purchase it, and like, it didn't put it in my assets, but it depleted my USDT.
Took your money.
Right, it took my money. So like, I showed the proof of like where I purchased it and where it depleted my account. I was like, I already sent all this stuff in, so like, what are y'all? What's the problem?
Right. How can it be insufficient if you already took the money?
Exactly. So I went on their website, and I seen where they had like their social media or whatever like that. So I got on there with business, customer support, and the person on everything. Like, here, this thing, this. I was like, okay, right, the person's taking care of this. And I couldn't get into my account after I gave my information. Like, I couldn't get into my account. And he was like, well, they're doing an investigation, you'll be able to get into it anyway. So that right there was like still a red flag.
Yeah, let us know these things.
Yeah, I was like, that's a red flag. So I stopped messaging the person and went back to customer support
within the app.
Right, from the app. And I'm like, I can't even get into my account now. And they were like, I had to do like send in my basically do the whole process over again. ID and email address, all of that. Had to do all of that over. But I hadn't heard back from them, so I'm waiting on somebody to give me an answer about what's going on.
So you're still waiting?
Yeah, I'm still waiting. Like, I sent all of that in.
And you still can't access your account?
I can't access my account. I'm like, I got money in this.
I already know what you got in there.
You know what I'm saying? And all this crypto I got.
Yeah.
Like, hold on now.
But I can see why they shut it down to investigate. I get that.
Yeah.
Because they don't know who you are. You know?
Right. And that's cool, but I'm like, it's been a few days now. I ain't been able to go into my account to see what's going on. And I don't know who I talked to from the website, and I don't know what they're doing. I ain't heard back from them. So I'm like, you trying to get my account, hack my account, take my crypto.
That's quite scary.
Let's get a check of the forecast with meteorologist Leslie Lopez. Hi, good morning. All right, we're waiting for the wind. I mean, if you are waiting for the wind, it is coming. If you're not, you know it's gusting in your area. We certainly have Santa Anas that are picking up, and they're going to get stronger throughout today. So some of the strongest winds will happen midday. We're expecting to see gusts of 60 miles per hour as a potential through some of those wind-prone areas. Anywhere from that 60-mile-per-hour mark would probably more likely be in the canyons, the passes, over along the Pines, the 14. If you're heading out to some of the high deserts, you can get up to about 50-mile-per-hour winds. Some of our mountain communities, the canyon passes of the Cajon Pass, the Bannon Pass, San Antonio Pass, dealing with some very strong gusty winds. And so there are high wind warnings all across Southern California and wind advisories. So you just want to make sure that you are securing anything that could fly away today. And then we'll talk more about these winds coming up. Over to you. All right, Leslie, thank you. Good morning,
Eyewitness News anytime, wherever you stream ABC 7.
Welcome to the happiest place on earth, where your happiness is everywhere, anywhere. Be specific, any kind of happy. They're even happy. And you're the happiest of them all. Because this place has all the happy you never knew could exist. So you're a new kind of happy every time you visit. Welcome to your happiest place on earth, only at the Disneyland Resort. SoCal residents can visit the Disneyland Resort for as low as $67 per person per day with a 3-day, 1 park per day ticket valid weekdays only through May 26, 2022.
Don't get stuck with internet and TV that costs more and does less. Set yourself free with Spectrum and get it all from one provider. Get Spectrum Internet with
They get this together because, geez. I said, I hope they get this together. Your account. And look.
I went on there and purchased Shinja. Shinja.
You gotta send these names too.
Oh my God. It's got so many zeros. I think it's got about 12 zeros. And it's moving too. But like, I think yesterday, built.
But what's the difference for zeros?
It's supposed to be doing another burn, like 4 quadrillion. They had already did one burn, and this is right now one of the fastest moving cryptos.
You got that on Bitmark?
Yeah, I got that on Bitmark. It's got like 65,000 holders.
You can think about it for that. Nothing particularly rich in the supplement.
And it's only been out like 3 months.
Can you imagine if we get on day 2? We need to find out. Like when they drop.
Yeah, Twitter be posting when it drops.
That's right. TurboTax Freezing is free. See details at TurboTax.com.
There's other ones that are not on Bitmark, but a lot of people on Twitter are talking about. Tim and Everrise. Those two right there, there's a lot of people talking about those two.
That I'm using my phone right now, so but I screenshot a picture of it and sent it to you. That has a lot of different coins on it as well. Start with an M, MEC, MEX, or something like that. It's green. Yeah, because when I can't remember when to do something, I go to your page because I know I sent you on Messenger, because I know I sent you something. So yeah, it's on there. And it has a lot of those funky coins on there too.
More than 6,000 people were evacuated from the area. Bridgeport University of Virginia canceled classes and relocated from overseas. Also this morning, the Washington football team set to announce its new name.
Oh yeah, I'm going as soon as I get done with him.
I think
Washington Commanders banner inside the team stadium. The team dropped its former name more than a year ago.
And you got
crazy number.
God almighty. God almighty, I can imagine. Some we don't even know.
9, 6. No, it's more than 6. I'm going to say we had about 9, 6, 0.
Jesus. First, TJ Holmes joins us with a great post-NFL life. Good luck. Good morning.
And guys, this is not just a celebration of his greatness on the field, his accomplishment. So this is really a testament to the greatness of his longevity. The man is 44 years old in a league that most careers are over by the age of 30. He's 44. Not just that he's 44, he actually led the NFL this year in passing yards and passing touchdowns at the age of 44. So why would he decide that he's going to give it up now? He says there's a 100% competitive commitment that he needs to the game, and that's not something he's willing to do anymore.
22 seasons and 7 Super Bowl wins. Tom Brady is officially retiring from football. It is an honor and privilege to watch you compete. Absolutely incredible career.
That man getting old. Somebody hurt. Hell, I hurt bowling. Shit.
Transcends many generations. His wife of nearly 13
you are my first live video on TikTok.
I am in awe of your dedication.
I had to get 1,000 followers in order to go live.
Dedicated, focused, and mentally tough person I have ever met. The story athlete got his start at the University of Michigan. Spent his first 2 years there as a backup.
Tom Brady, if 198 goes to the New England Patriots.
And then in 2000, Brady was the 199th pick in the NFL draft. The New England Patriots gave him a shot that would forever change that franchise and the sport.
There's nobody that's produced at his level, at his age, not in football, not at that position. He's done things that nobody else ever has in terms of productivity and longevity.
His commitment to physical greatness set him apart. Brady's retiring on top, the highest earning NFL player of all time. His longtime body coach, Alex Guerrero, joked on Instagram Tuesday that he's updating my resume after the announcement. Brady and his wife are notoriously health conscious. 80% of their diet is veggies and whole grains. He spoke to Strahan just last year about his journey.
I know a lot of that has to do with the way you take care of yourself. For athletes, your body is your asset. What I eat, what I drink, how I work out, all those things cumulatively add up.
The 44-year-old launched his Brady apparel brand just last month.
He was one of the best human beings that you could hang around. Truly humble, would give you the shirt off his back. Great teammate.
Brady also expressed his commitment to his wife and 3 kids, writing in his retirement announcement that they are my greatest achievement. I always came off the field and home to the most loving and supportive wife who has done everything for our family to allow me to focus on my career.
Football centered me in so many ways. That's like such a singular purpose that I think when I don't have that, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for me.
And a lot of people might have noticed, he had kind of that long message, retirement message. There's a point, he's writing, you're reading, and then you come to this point, he says, Te amo, amor de minha vida. He's speaking in Portuguese directly to his wife, Giselle, saying, I love you, love of my life. So that gives you just a little nugget there of him, how he's been talking about his family a lot lately, how they were going to be a part of this. And one more breakneck note, the man has 7 Super Bowl wins. That is more than any NFL franchise has in its history, including the Patriots. They have 6. He got them all of those. Went to Tampa, got them another. It's just remarkable what he's done.
Now it's time to go home and spend time with the family. He sounds very excited. Yeah, no doubt. Thank you so much, PJ. And joining us now exclusively is Brady's longtime body coach, close friend, and TV12 co-founder, Alex Guerrero. Alex, thank you for joining us this morning, my friend. And we know you worked with Tom for more than 15 years. You're one of the closest people on the planet to him. So can you tell us why he finally decided to hang it up?
Well, he's had an amazing 22-year career, right? He's done so many, as everybody has,
man is tired. You always want to retire on top.
Amazing his career has been. I think he's gotten to the point to where he, realized that he just wants to spend some time with his family and give back. And when you take the time with him and you see how committed he is to the thing.
Like when you gave us for that much time, there really is no reason. Why did you retire? There's no reason. Like.
And did he ask you for your input?
You know, really during the course of the season, we were so focused, right? It really was about the team. It really was about being the best for his teammates. You know, Tom always exemplifies great leadership. I think his
22
work
years of
ethic,
my life, my
right,
body.
his determination to win. You know, he always comes with a winning mindset. That was really what we focused on, you know, up until really last week.
And next season will be here before we know it. Do you think he might regret retiring just a little bit?
You know, I think, you know, Michael, you've been there, right? Like, I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of high-end athletes and have taken several into retirement. And, you know, some are really prepared for it, and you know, and others aren't. Like, you obviously prepared for it. We talked about you and just admire what you have been able to do, you know, post-football. And, you know, Tom and I've actually talked about, you know, Michael and what Michael's done and how amazing he's done it. And so, you know, I think he's excited
It's
about
like the bus. The bus,
football career. You know, he's got
damn, they got to
amazing businesses
walk
that
with
he's
crutches.
involved in. Certainly, you know, he has a passion for health and wellness and sharing.
Who wants to live their life like that? I still want to be able to, you know, move around. I don't want to retire and then be in the fucking vegetable. Shit. Damn, you're supposed to retire and enjoy. Like the bus retire, he gotta put legs on. No.
And definitely, I need to get on that TV12 program and Falling Apart. But in his statement, he made a reference to you, which I thought was so great. He said, I could never have made every Sunday without you. It's that simple. So what did you do to help Brady become the special player he was? And what do you think was the key to his longevity?
Yeah, I think the key to his longevity, obviously, is his work ethic, you know, healthy habits, his winning mindset. And I think those are all things that we talked about, you know, TB12 and through our TB12 message. It's all part of it, right? We're working on, you know, being, you know, work on the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body. And so, you know, I think through our work together, through his training, through our, you know, manual therapy, all the body work that we've done to really prepare his body to be able to sustain the impact, you know, that the sport put on him over the course of, you know, all these 16 years together. You know,
And that's 22 years of professional football. We're not talking about fucking high school, middle school, pee-wee. That's a lot of damn football.
You know, how he did it and why he did it and the results of doing it.
22 years. We both know how long and how tough it is for anybody to go that long in anything that they do. So, Alan, thank you for your contribution so that we could watch Tom Brady play. Thank you, my friend. We really appreciate you. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, of course.
And there's high praise there for you. And you really, when you decided to retire, you had made calls. You have made, you know, relationships. And that's much what Brady seems to have done. Like taking that time to think about the next.
And I think Tom's one of these guys who frames his life in different ways. Football was a part of his life. It's not his entire life. So now you see all the businesses and other things that he has going on. When I'm asked that question, I didn't get football. I missed it. But after about 3 or 4 months and watching guys get hit like that, and he would appreciate it more. His body would appreciate it.
Well, I can say NFL block is
I'll tell you about
coming up next.
I've been looking into life insurance.
That's a good thing to make money from, too. You can borrow against it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you heard of infinite banking?
Yep.
Oh my God. This guy
Yeah, I gotta sit down and really man, this is, you know, light-skinned folks, rich light-skinned folks info.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
And,
It's like in the back door, in the back alley information. You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't they teach this stuff?
they don't teach that. They teach that. But listen to a podcast, and this guy mentioned that this is how the Rockefeller stay rich, because every single time a child is born within the family, they put a policy out on it. So when that child gets older, they can borrow from the policy, but they have to pay it back.
But they can pay it back whenever they want to.
They can pay it back when they want to, but they have to pay it back before they can borrow from it again. And then when they pass, they get all that money. That's how they stay rich within their family. I was like, man, this is crazy.
Send me the podcast info.
Lifeblood.
On YouTube?
I listen to it on Pandora.
Okay.
Sleeping back.
I was like,
Psoriasis.
you ain't got to pay it back. What? I pay it back when I get ready. And then
No interest, no nothing.
right, like you get 6% dividends paid out. I'm like, what?
Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, or if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Emerge Tremfya with Tremfya. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today.
I can tell you mine is like a savings account. But I already I set up
Lots of vitamins A and C.
consultation.
And only 45 calories a serving. Good morning indeed. V8, the original plant powered drink. Veg Up.
Not your average
Did you know that Service Champions
podcast.com.
can fix your broken heater?
But he
Or
has
who you bought it from. It's true. We service
another website, but you can go on that website
Bright, comfort air,
and
green, and anything else.
somewhere
We also have over
on that
200
website.
technicians. So no matter
There's
what
another
brand you
one
have,
that
we
you
have
have to go
dozens
to.
of experts who can handle your exact
This is
situation.
like the
We can
consultation.
absolutely, positively fix your heater.
We're back now with a newly released video of the brave Waffle House shooting hero, James Shaw, testifying in court about those terrifying moments. Jane Homer has more for us today.
Robin, good morning to you. That trial was delayed for several months as the accused shooter, Travis Reinking, was treated for schizophrenia and cleared once again to stand trial. He's pleaded not guilty, but prosecutors argue he knew exactly what he was doing.
Never before seen surveillance video from the deadly 2018 shooting at a Nashville area Waffle House playing out in court as the trial against the accused gunman intensifies. Here you see the dining room full of people, then glass flying through the air as bullets pierce the windows. Watch as customers dive from cover, gunfire raining from the shooter's
this is why I carry.
weapon. Then, in an act of pure bravery and courage ignited by terror, the man hailed as the Waffle House hero, James Shaw, confronts the gunman who had just charged inside the restaurant.
Better kill me. Go kill me, I'm fighting.
That's right, we
There,
fight.
Shaw throws the shooter to the ground. A struggle ensues before Shaw wrestles away the AR-15, still so hot from gunfire it burned his hands. Shaw recalling the heart-pounding moments when he took the stand Monday for the prosecution.
My father get the gun, and I throw it. And I watch the gun. It looked like it was in the air for days. And I just watched it glide and glide and glide, and it finally went on the bar.
There, behind a service counter, two employees lying on the ground inches from the rifle that had just claimed 4 lives.
Damn.
23-year-old Aquila Da Silva, 21-year-old Diabini Groves, 29-year-old Teron Sunderland, 20-year-old Joe Perez.
I ran through the door thinking,
That's some relatives.
it's either it's going to be me or him, or it's going to be, death. We'll see what happens.
Reinking indicted on 17 counts, including 4 counts of premeditated murder.
And again, Reinking has entered a plea of not guilty by way of insanity. Day 3 of testimony continues today. The judge says 62 witnesses in all are expected to take the stand throughout the trial. Incredible
People
video,
asking why I
hearing him relive those moments, guys.
Really was, Janae. Thank you for sharing that.
All right, stay right
You
there.
at a
Coming up
fucking
next,
Waffle
we have
House.
our play of the day.
Eating. He was like, but we had a birthday party. I don't give a damn. Anybody can walk in here.
Sausage McMuffin with egg. A perfect start to the day. Oh, you're hacking the menu to make a crispy, cheesy hash brown McMuffin. Oh, my goodness. That looks good. You know, I've seen this one before. I have a friend who used to do this. Order the hash brown McMuffin by name, build it by hand, and hack the McDonald's menu for breakfast.
Verizon is going ultra, and so is our best unlimited plan ever. Barry, welcome to Verizon's new plan with 5G Ultra Wideband now in many more cities. Up to 10 times the speed, 0 extra cost. Our 5G data is for reals unlimited, no matter how much you use. Did you just say for real? Sorry, let's put it to work with 6 premium entertainment subscriptions included. Go on, watch all you want.
I love this show.
And because of better plans, there's a better phone. How about a new one on us?
Seriously?
Yeah, it's our best plan ever. Verizon is going ultra, so you can too.
When they're sick, they get comfortable
I
anywhere.
suggest you go to the range and shoot everything.
Protection.
And I gotta create
the COVID-19 virus on more
something
surfaces than Lysol disinfectant spray. Lysol.
just go to the store, be like,
Your kindness outshines your highs and
let them,
lows.
you know, put it in your hand, like, okay, I want to shoot that one.
Because you are great.
You want to be able to,
And
you want to be able to like the way it feels in your hand. You know, you don't want it to be too heavy. You want to be able to rack it, chamber it all smoothly. That's one thing a lot of people don't do. They go buy a weapon and they never even held the thing. And can't load it, can't rack it, can't do nothing. It's hard to handle, it's bulky. So I tell people go to the lane. Or go to Academy Sports. They have weapons. Go there and just put all of them in your hands.
Might do that this weekend.
Put all of them in your hands. That's what I got this one for. Yep.
You are greater than your bipolar.
Academy Sports. A lot of people don't venture off to that side wall all the way in the back. Yep.
Why go back to reality when you could go back to the pool? The last day of vacation is still vacation. With guaranteed 4 p.m. checkout at over 1,200 fine hotels and resorts properties.
You can go, there's a gun store.
Reasons be with Amex Platinum.
It's a Wilkinson.
Our strength, our power, our purpose starts with you. So let's start there. With collagen that supports our
It's a
body
good
from the
size too.
inside out.
And it's a range right across the street. Say where Blackstone is at.
It takes many forms. Also, the few Blackstone to the next.
Blackstone is the gun range. And then so it's Blackstone, and then right down the street to the right is the gun store. I can't think of the name of it. Over by, it's right next door to Habitat for Humanity. I want to say that's Wilkinson. Another reason why I don't never sit with my back to nothing.
Yeah, look at that. That kid was amazing. The next morning, you know what people were interested in? Checking out CSN Sports Center's top 10 list. All that series, he made it, and he did. He practiced that move for 4 months, and he said he has dreamed of playing in the NBA crowd. Right on his way to that. Yeah, I think that's for everybody. We'll be able to back.
That is for you. Yeah, I got another one that's just the same.
Wow.
Oh yeah, what happened with
Court?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get what I was asking for, but he paid what he owed me. He came and got his stuff. Had the smart mouth and everything. Like, girl, get out of here. Just didn't leave. Like, you were dead ass wrong, man. And the judge made it seem like it was my fault. Like, we wouldn't be here had you let her get her stuff. No, we wouldn't be here had she paid her fucking rent. Talking about I could have let her get her stuff and then sued her. I could have did that and she never would have paid me. Like, you know how many judgments is out there just in limbo? No. This way, she want her stuff, she gotta pay. But I'm so wrong. The judge made it seem like I was so wrong. I withheld her stuff. But the judge told her, you owe her this amount, but you can't get it until you pay her.
Yeah, why'd you say that? That's
You just
wow.
didn't say like, woman. You just did the same thing. Like, come on. Because you knew I was in the right. Because if I was in the wrong, you would have told her to go get her stuff immediately.
Hey, fellas, we've done it all. It's about your food. It has spray on flavor and powdered meat. It's time for fresh food. It belongs in the fridge next to our food. Real good call. Apples and cinnamon.
He gets FOMO. Fear of missing notes.
Penalty reversed. The result of the play is breakfast. Quaker Oats, a super trusted superfood. Always a good call.
This Valentine's Day, find the gift that touches their heart. This is how love shines.
FOMO, fear of missing out. I got several fans that have that condition.
Live up to the hype. And Gugu and Baca Raw is joining us live. This segment is sponsored by Quaker Oats. Your local newsletter next.
I've been my entire career on television and radio, and it's really important that I feel confident whenever I wake up. After years of being on my feet all day, I developed this easily inducing digital stain.
West Medical indicated varicose vein treatment has helped thousands of people to get the smooth, sexy legs they deserve.
The key at West Medical was amazing. My legs look great. My barefoot legs are gone.
Call 1-800-WEST MED for a free consultation.
Frontier's 100% fiber internet is here, with more speed and reliability.
Finally, I can experience the humidity lost to a 13-year-old without lagging out.
What you say?
So you gotta work on that.
Work on what? Oh, shut up. I'm gonna stick to my day job. My bowling time is over with.
Plus, get a $200 Visa reward card on us.
Good Morning America, it's sponsored.
There you go. I need to get a picture of that.
Hosted by me, Maya
The Jeopardy National College.
I'm Mark, and I live in Vero Beach, Florida. My wife and I have 3 children. With Ann and I like to hike. We eat healthy, we exercise. I noticed I wasn't as sharp as I used to be. My wife introduced me to Prevagen. So I said, yeah, I'll try it out. I noticed that I felt sharper. I felt like I was able to respond to things quicker. And I thought, yeah, it works for me.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
Live from ABC7, this is an Eyewitness News update.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm Brandy Hitt. There are funeral services that will be held at 9:30 this morning for fallen LAPD officer Fernando Arroyos. He was off duty when he was shot and killed last month during a robbery attempt in South LA. 4 people have now been arrested in connection with his death. The El Segundo Police Department needs your help after these 6 puppies were found all alone in a small crate in a nearby dog park. The pups have since been given to LA Animal Services at Chesterfield Square. And also, if you have any information about maybe who left them, you're urged to contact the police department.
All right, there you go.
They're cute, aren't they?
Thank you for being my first TikTok video.
This is what
I forgot how to end this.
I
I'll end TikTok, y'all.
It looks insane. So we are looking at some very strong gusty winds, especially in the upper elevations, the Inland Empire, anywhere from San Bernardino mountain communities out towards the San Gabriel Valley mountain communities, and